Hello, everyone. How you guys doing today? Um, it is, as you guys know, it's in December 2017. It's just 2 days away from Christmas, and Merry Christmas to all of you guys, all my fans on YouTube and Facebook and all. Um, it's winter time, it's cold, but this weekend it's been extremely cold. It's just that I'm here standing um, at my house next to my car here um, around 2 o'clock in the evening, in the afternoon, so it's not so cold. It'll be around 20 degrees um, during nighttime. So, this whole week is just going to be extremely cold. And I was able to make the video here today. Um, well, Merry Christmas to all you guys out there, and Happy New Year too. As you can see, my year uh, didn't go up so well, especially around this winter time when I find out my cars is breaking down. Yes, guys, bad news for me. Um, Squeeze me here. I'm just gonna hold my phone like this because my hand gets kind of tired. So I'm just gonna make the video showing you guys what happened to my car here. Um, so uh, Everything's gonna be bad news for me this winter time. I won't be able to have a ride anywhere really. Basically, um, what happened was I updated this video. I guess this is a part three on the update my video when I did the tune up in my house now. You guys wonder why my car is down here now, huh? On this my 98 Mitsubishi Eclipse GS here. Um, and I'm still working on it like usual. And you guys wonder why it's parking down here, make when I'm making the videos and working on it, right? Well, it's been through breaking down, and I know you guys gonna you know gonna be disappointed after hearing me and seeing this video here on my 98 Eclipse. Um, but what else can I do? I mean, I'm a home mechanic, and I can't do much for the past like for the past year and so because I've been so busy working and I don't really have enough time put any time into my cars and the engines. Um, I barely have time to wash the car, on the appearance, like getting it painted and all that. But luckily, I didn't make any of those major changes like painting my cars and all. Even my wheels, I didn't do anything like that. Even my tires, they are old. I was thinking about ordering new tires, but let's forget about all those appearance and stuff. I'm focusing in more with my with the motor. Okay, so what happened was my car broke down right after. Remember I showed you guys when I did the oil change. Yes, right after I did the oil change and kind of check out everything, like I say, like trying to flush the radiator and doing all those tune up with my fuse and air and stuff like that. I overchecked it really. And about the lifter noise, my engine have this loud noise. If you guys check on my previous last video, you guys will hear. I think it's in the part two of the tune up updated on my videos. Part two, you guys will hear the noisy sound of my engine on the top of my engine that I'm assuming is the lifter. But at this point right now, it could be anything, guys, to what I am experiencing. So after the oil change, I got my car down, drove like usual, going to work and going to grocery and shopping and stuff like that. I was in the middle of driving to the mall to return some clothes, some of the things I bought. I returned some some clothes, and it was like around 8, 9 o'clock at night. And you know, I mean, I returned the clothes and all. And when I left the parking lot, going to another store, then I mean at that point I already hear and see my car is is rattling, is making the noise and it's getting louder, and I hear some parts is like rattling and it sounds like it's breaking apart. It sounds like it's falling apart, like, but I don't at that point I do not know what happened, like what's falling apart. I have a feeling that the engine is gonna die like real soon. I don't know why. What the heck is wrong? I just uh, drove the car after the oil change because I thought the oil change will make a big difference, but obviously it's not making any difference whatsoever. I'm having like engine issue, making a noise sound, and then it affects my clutch after that. And so I drove to this mechanic shop called Speedy. I was trying to stop by to find out, what really happened, because at that point, after I dropped my clothes, I returned my clothes, you know, I have a bad feeling that it's gonna break down soon, and I don't know why that night I drove my car out. I should have parked up in my house like usual, because it's better to work up there instead of down here now. And you guys want to know why it's down here, and I'll tell you guys why in a minute. Okay, let me finish the story. So what happened was the story is kind of long. I'm trying to make it short for you guys. All right. But anyway, all my videos are long. um, but you know. Um, some of you guys might be interested in watching my videos, although some don't. And I still see people hitting and dislike my videos for some reason. I don't know why, but I mean. I don't need to know why, because there's all kind of people in this world that can like your video and they cannot. People can and people don't want to. So I let them have their choice. They do what they want to do. It's just, yeah, although throughout the whole day, it's just a click like and dislike on YouTube anyway. So I'm not really, uh, not so much worried about that part of my channel. As long as they don't put, ugly comments. And if you do comments, I will respond to your comments to see what you're saying. Okay. Um, so back to the story was I was, uh, I drove to Speedy, and so I spoke with a manager at Speedy, and he kind of go over with me about that. I kind of show him about the sound, let him hear the sound, my engine, all that. He also says the lifter problem is something like just take out the valve cover, and maybe if I can go down there and check down there under my block and see anything's missing, any bolts losing or whatever. He got the same idea that I was saying before. Like at the oil change when I did my oil change. So that's what I'm assuming what happened was something is rattling under my cylinder engine, right? So after I spoke with him for like a good long time, and at that point the car's already like at that point when I started letting him hear and all that, I mean, my clutch starting to, I can feel my clutch is like falling apart. You know, like after that, I saw smoke too. So like right after I met him, like before I met him, I park in and I already hear the sound of the engine's getting worse. Like it's breaking down on me. Like, and then it stalls, it stops, and I have to like start it on for like once or twice after that, because it wouldn't want to start, and the engine wouldn't want to start. So I got pretty scared. I got scared because never know what happened when you break down the road. So but it was it wasn't in Charlotte. It was in another county I was at. So I was kind of a little bit uh, you could say scared too, because it was nighttime. So I was kind of, uh, I was, you know, don't know what to do. So anyway, back to what I was saying about what happened was after spoke with him, what happened was I don't know if that time I've seen the smoke coming up yet or not, But after I spoke with him, he did recommend me to go to Asia Work, which is down the street from him, and he said that they do a good job. So I was like, okay, I might go there and see what happened. But they closed at that time. I was just gonna drive over to see what happened, see how they shop and all that. I mean, it was small shop. I drove once or twice before, but I never go in to get my car checked or work done. So I went to Asia Work, and it's just down the street, and I drove in there, and then I parked, just parked to see, I was gonna walk in to see how the shop looks and all that. When I stop, when I try to park in, the car stalled. It stops on me, like it's breaking down. Like that at that time, it's breaking down badly too, twice on the parking lot, and I couldn't even start up the car right. And it's just breaking down on me right there. And I was just trying to go home. I was thinking I was gonna go home, and once I was like, I mean, the car is breaking down. Why would I go home? I'm gonna stay here at Asia Work because it's a mechanic shop, and I'm pretty sure they can help fixing my car. By then, because it's time for me to bring it to a shop instead of working my own like all the time. I'm getting tired of it. So I try to start it up so I can park into their parking lot as quickly as I can, and so I can park in the parking lot right. So the next day they can check my car. I park in there right in the parking lot, behind the shop and everything. I was gonna leave my car. I open my hood up and leave it for a few minutes so I can check my oil and all and see what happened. But you guys know I just did an oil change, and after the oil change, there's no leak, so my oil should be fine. I should have enough oil in the engine regardless. Period. So it's got to be something. Something's breaking, like clutch or starter or something, right? So I don't know why I parked in there for like a half an hour. I went to Aldi to a grocery store. I come back. I was gonna park there and catch the bus, ride the bus home, so the next day I can call them to check on my car for me, right? Because my car is parking in that parking lot. So I don't know what happened. My mind changed. I feel kind of afraid that I leave my car. I mean, I just want to go home. So at that point, I I try to start up again. It's badly. I don't know why. I mean, you can say I made a mistake doing that. I mean, I try to start it up, and it started up too. And I shift into my clutch. I shift into first, and I hit the clutch. I kick the clutch and shift into first, and I drove out the parking lot. When I drove out the parking lot, I didn't make it to the street, and the car breaks down right there again. Right, I mean, I broke down there like 3 or 4 times. I don't know why I still want to go home and leave the parking lot. I mean, I wasn't thinking right. Yes, you could say that. And I was just trying to go home, so see if I can fix my car without, wasting any more money, spending any more money on this car at the shop. That's what I think. That's what I thought. And I want to draw my car home. So I drove out again for the third or fourth time after breaking in the parking lot, and the clutch is just disengaged. It's like, I mean, I drove out the street trying to make a turn on the at the red light, and I know I'm like 10 minutes away from my house, so that's not nearby anyway. But I risked myself to drive out of the parking lot and drove out of the street, and right there, I almost turned right at the red light, and my car broke down right there, right at a big intersection too. And at that point is dying, guys. Like, and I see like my clutch is getting bad. I mean, I can feel my clutch is breaking down on my feet, like it's making that rattling, ugly noise, and I can feel something's breaking down through my engine, like my transmission or my clutch or my starter. At that time, I mean, I had to stop and pop the hood and check what happened. Put on my emergency sign right in the middle of the street, got out the car, watch all the cars before I got out, open up the hood. This is what I see: smoke coming from right there. Oh yeah, I got my lights too, so I can see what happened under my hood. I got my lights out, my my little red lights I used to carry in my car, and I popped the hood up and I saw smoke coming up from right in the middle of right here between the transmission, the clutch, and the starter. So you gotta tell me what could possibly happen. Okay, this is the starter right here. This is the starter down there. This is the solenoid of the starter engaged within the transmission right there, and the clutch got to be right there in the middle, right? Smoke coming out from right there, and I can smell it inside my car too. Sounds like I'm burning my clutch, right? Sounds like either I'm burning my clutch, something in my transmission is burning or breaking, or either that or my starter is burning and breaking between the teeth. So it could be between the teeth that the starter clogged up uh with the flywheel of the clutch. So that's what I'm thinking at this time, guy. That's what happened. And up until now, I still have not checked my engine, like take off my valve cover, check and see any lifters losing or any rocker arm is missing or losing. And I haven't go down to my block to check down there and see if any bolts missing. So my conclusion at that point was yes, that's what I was thinking. So the breakdown kind of scared me, you know. Well, it scares me for a minute because you know what? My car is under inspection, and I got so lucky that I didn't get any ticket because right after 10 minutes breaking down the road, of course, finally, I saw some cops driving. I saw like one cops parking at another street, and I was gonna get help from him because I was trying to see what can he do? But he just drove off. I guess he didn't see me put emergency sign on my car. And then for like 10 minutes later or so, a small cops, put on lights on behind my back, um, kind of put their lights and there was two cops inside the car. They got out. I was still in the car, okay? I was in the car trying to make phone calls to get someone to tow my car for me for a good decent price. But I called the same company like the cops, Dillinger, but they're like 25 minutes away. I don't know why the place that I called, they're like 25 minutes away. Instead of when the cop came, he asked me if what happened and all that, and I explained to him. He checked my license plate and register and all that, and he gave it back to me after that. He didn't say anything like about my registration, although my registration is expired. And I mean, guys, these two cops or young cops, and they're pretty cool guys. They're the coolest cop I ever seen in Pineview. Like this is in Pineview, not in Charlotte, okay? But I saw these two cool as hell cops. They didn't write me any ticket about it. After that they returned my ID, and then I asked them if I can go out and talk with them and all that, get out the street. And then I got out, and they stand on the side, and I spoke with them for a few minutes, and then finally, in a few minutes later, well, they did ask me if I want them to call their toll company. So they called Dillinger, which is the same toll company I called a few minutes ago after that. And I have no time to really call anyone, like any other tow company, but Dillinger. So I gave up after that. They asked me if I want them to call for me. So I did. I say yes, but I didn't know the price was so high, guys. I did kind of got ripped off by them. But if I don't make the fast move, they might can give me a ticket or something. So I was just like, okay, you guys go ahead and call tow company to tow my car for me because I've been calling other tow company too, but no one will be able to do it. Um, at that time, I thought the price would be like around 80, 100 at the most, but I didn't know that they charge me if the cop's gonna call a tow truck for you guys, it's gonna be 125 regardless because the cops are working with the tow company. So they charge a little bit over, like $30 extra or $40 extra. I don't know, somewhere around there. But I don't really care about that. I just want to get my car towed either home or to the shop. And I did tow, wait for like 15 minutes, talk with the cop for a little bit. The tow truck finally came. Their tow people finally came. Um, But before that, the cops, one of the young cops, he's pretty cool. He was nice. He told me we was talking a little bit, and then he told me he looked in the back of my tag. He was like, your tag is expired, and it's been expired for like a month or even more. And I'll be honest with you guys here, what happened? Because my car's already broke down anyway, so there's no need to lie about it. And I really thanks for the cops that didn't give me a ticket, because I could get a ticket. But cops these days they know people getting a rough time, having a hard time on cars and stuff like that, especially in North Carolina. So that's why I wish I would live in South Carolina. I wouldn't have to deal with any inspection at all. But North Carolina, that's what their law. I can't say much about it because it's that law. I know a lot of people be talking about their laws and all that, but that's the law of a big city. So it was a cool cops. He did told me that he do know your tag is expired, right? I mean, why wouldn't you have a tag? 'Cause everyone else have a regular tag, and I have like a temp tag. Yeah, that's what happened. Everyone else have regular tag. So I did tell him about this registration, the inspection and stuff like that. So he was like, okay, well, he understand why, what happened and all. So the tow truck came and towed my car. At that point I was just wanted to then him to tow right there down right there. Asia Work is right there. I mean, can you tow to Asia Work right there? It's just a couple of feet away. And he said he's still gonna charge me 125. I'm like, no way. I already okay. So just right there, and he's just gonna charge me 125. I'm like, he say either you want to go home or you're gonna uh tow your car at Asia Work or tow your car home. It's same price. I'm like, oh my god, I'm already losing 130, 125, $30, and I'm towing my car to Asia Work. And I don't know what happened with the engine. It could be something small, easy fix. So if I bring it there, they can charge me even worse, or they can find bigger problem, and I'm gonna end up throwing my car away. Trashing my car, or you know, um, recycling my car away. After that, and I don't know these people either. They could tell me something. I don't know. So I'm not saying Asia Work is bad or whatever because I don't know them. So I'm just gonna consider like most of the mechanic shop that I went to or mechanic people I know, they don't do a good job, especially when I went to street mechanic. So that's a no. Don't ever go to street mechanic again. I would say this again. It's gonna be my first time dealing with street mechanic and my last time. That was it. The street mechanic that installed my engine together. So I don't know at that point. I don't know if they did something wrong or they didn't start it right. That's why my engines. I just got it replaced. I just got it rebuilt for like a year. I mean, yeah, like a whole year, and it's already breaking down. So they gotta do something wrong, or either that, or my parts getting old. And really, all my parts are getting real old. Like everything is old except for the engine, like you guys already know. Except for the top engine and the bottom block has been rebuilt. Everything else is old, guys. Even though the battery is used. Okay, so I kind of afraid that they didn't, they would overcharge me. I already got overcharged by the tow truck, and I'm like, freak it. Just go ahead and tow my car home. So after that, I did tell the cops differently. I told the cop that I'll get my car towed to Asia Work right there. But after that, I changed my mind. I got onto the tow truck and told him to go home. Told my truck home. So what happened was, let me finish the story about towing first before I explain about the engine and all that stuff. It was around 9 or 10 maybe, and then I got here. He got a flatbed tow truck guy, a big one, and he did drove up my hill. Don't know for some reason he stopped right there in the middle of it and say he can't do it because freaking the car will bend over, lean over when he dropped down the flatbed, and it could cause his truck to fly down or slide down the hood, my tall hood right here, my high hood, and he's scared to do it. Either he's scared or he didn't want to do it. Well, I mean, at that point, he stopped right here in the middle of the road before he dropped my car down, and I already signed and paid for him. I know I shouldn't pay and sign and pay with my credit card before he finished the job. That's my mistake. I'll never do that again, guys. Don't ever pay before someone dropping your car from towing. Okay, they gotta drop wherever you want first, and then you pay them. I was in a rush, so I pay him, and then he was able to drop my car down the flatbed. So I was trying to get him to drop my car up there like usual, like two other time. There was two flatbed driving my car there, and they have no problem with it. And he was blaming because his truck is big. He got a big truck. That's why he couldn't do it because his truck is like a full size truck. Yeah, right. I mean, the other people has the same kind of flat truck as he is. He's just blaming his truck is big because he just don't want to do it. It was night and he got other things to do. He got another toll, and he just don't want to do it or he's scared. That's it. So I'm like, man, I already had a bad night. I told the cops I had a bad night, and him. I told him I had a bad night too. So I mean, I don't know why. I mean, the good thing about the cops, did a good thing for me. They let me go. They didn't give me a ticket or any warning. They did told me like they didn't give me any warning or ticket. I'm okay. So just get my car towed because they already know I have a bad night, and I really appreciate that part about the cops letting me go like that. It was pretty cool. I'm glad to meet them again if I can. Just say thank you because I was kind of in a rush. And so enough with the cops part and dealing with this toll man, this big toll man, this big guy, man. He's just lazy. He didn't want to uh, tow my truck up there, park up there. He's saying that if he do that, his truck might fly down. I mean, he was right there parking right in the middle of it. All he gotta do is just lower down the bed. I mean, he got a hard time getting up because he got something, another toll, another dolly that's scratching my parking right here. That's why he got scared. And he was able to lift that dolly up in the back too, and he moved up there. And he was gonna do all he gotta do is just lower the flatbed, and he was able to move my car down, right, park right there as usual. But he didn't want to do it. So ending up, that's why the car ending up parking down here. So he said he can park my car down here. So we had to push after, it's easy right here because it's down the street. But then after a few days, I had to tell my people because it was like next to the grass. So I told my people to help me to push it, move it out. So if I'm going to work on it, I can have space to go under the jack. Now, at this point, I mean, guys, I don't really want to work down the street because it's kind of like illegal at some part of the state or so. But I'm in the cul-de-sac, so I hope no one will know and they will understand in my situation. But that's why I don't want to park down here. And the guy didn't refuse to park my car up there. If I would park my car up there, I have no problem because my garage is right there. I can just work on it anytime I want to. And now my car is parked down here. I'm effed it, guys. Messed it up. Like, yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna cut for now. We'll see you in the next part because this video is getting kind of long already. And I'll see you guys in a minute and I'll continue to talk about it. Okay?